Someone Like You, a love story in 6 parts inspired by the song of the same name by Adele. Chapter 1. Whispered Secrets in the Summer Haze. As the sun began to dip below the horizon, the picturesque coastal town of St. Austell was drenched in a warm, golden hue. The lingering heat of the day mingled with the cool breeze rolling in from the nearby sea, creating a mesmerizing summer haze that blanketed the quaint cobblestone streets and the charming houses that lined them. In the heart of the town, nestled between centuries-old stone buildings, was a small cafe named Rosemary's. Adorned with flowering vines and luscious climbing roses, its outdoor tables offered a haven for locals and tourists alike. The scent of blooming flowers mingled with the aroma of freshly brewed coffee, creating a comforting, familiar atmosphere. Seated at one of the tables was Emily Ravenscroft, a woman of undeniable beauty, her hazel eyes reflecting an intriguing blend of strength and vulnerability. Her heart pounded in her chest, the rhythm in sync with the seconds ticking away on the antique clock mounted on the cafe's stone wall. She was waiting, her eyes scanning the faces of the passing crowd for one that was all too familiar. Emily's mind wandered back to the days of her youth, to the passionate, albeit tumultuous, love affair she had shared with Charles Ashton. It was in this same town that they had spent their formative years, their lives entwined in a story that was as captivating as it was heartbreaking. A sudden burst of laughter from a nearby table made Emily's heart skip a beat. It was a sound that was all too familiar, a sound that had once filled her with immense joy and contentment. But now, it served as a stark reminder of her loss, of the dreams she'd left behind. With a trembling hand, she reached for her cup of tea, her gaze still locked on the crowd. Charles was supposed to be here. Word around town was that he frequented this cafe, that he had settled down and found happiness. Emily's heart ached at the thought. Charles, her Charles, was now someone else's. The wind suddenly picked up, rustling the leaves of the rose bushes that framed the cafe's outdoor area. The scent of roses, now intertwined with the salty sea air, was a cruel reminder of their first encounter. It was during St. Austell's annual Rose Festival when Charles, a dashing young man with twinkling blue eyes, had handed her a rose, a symbol of the blossoming love between them. Chapter 2. Charmed by the Devilishly Handsome. The morning dawned bright and cheery, but the butterflies in Emily's stomach refused to subside. She had met Alex, sweet and charming as a spring lamb, but the enigmatic William Davenport remained elusive. Yet his absence didn't stop his presence from permeating the mansion. Each luxurious artifact, each portrait adorning the walls, each whispered instruction from Mrs. Havisham, they all bore a silent testimony to the man's formidable character. Embracing her role as the nanny, Emily spent her morning with Alex, reading him stories and playing games. The child's easygoing nature and endearing laughter calmed her frazzled nerves, reminding her of her purpose in this opulent labyrinth. Yet, the anticipation of her imminent meeting with William Davenport lingered at the back of her mind. It wasn't until evening that Emily finally met the man who had been a constant, unsettling presence in her thoughts. William Davenport was everything society gossip and the tabloids portrayed him to be, and yet he was so much more. He was charismatic, and his handsome features were only enhanced by his steely grey eyes that held an unfathomable depth. But what truly caught Emily off guard was the air of vulnerability that shrouded him, a subtle trait that was probably invisible to many but not to Emily. Their first encounter was brief, cordial, and left Emily with a whirlpool of emotions. His voice was a warm rumble that echoed in the grand hallway, stirring something within her. His appreciative glance when he thanked her for taking care of Alex was surprisingly tender, contrasting with the confident billionaire image he otherwise projected. As Emily retired to her suite that night, her mind buzzed with the day's happenings. Meeting William Davenport had been an experience in itself. He was a puzzle, a captivating conundrum that Emily felt inexplicably drawn towards. Days turned into weeks, and Emily found herself sinking into a comfortable rhythm in the Davenport mansion. Her bond with Alex strengthened each day, and her encounters with William, although sporadic, were always laced with a thrilling undercurrent. His quick smiles, thoughtful remarks, and even his occasional aloofness held a magnetic pull. Emily's life had certainly taken an unexpected turn. This new world was strange, lavish, intimidating, and yet deeply captivating. The mansion with its grandeur held stories and secrets that she was only beginning to unravel. One thing was clear though, Emily Cartwright, the once simple country girl, was now undeniably charmed by a billionaire, devilishly handsome and intriguingly complex. In this labyrinth of silk and gold, Emily had not just found a new job, but an unexpected, thrilling and irresistible temptation. Chapter 3. Moonlit Desires Unveiled. The days soon melted into nights, each one holding promises and secrets. Emily Cartwright, our erstwhile country girl, was discovering her place amidst the opulence and the unexpected quirks of the billionaire's life. William Davenport, despite his occasional absences, had become a compelling fixture in Emily's new life. One night, Emily found herself unable to sleep. She moved quietly down the hallway, her feet softly padding on the plush carpet, her mind filled with thoughts she couldn't quite comprehend. The mansion was eerily beautiful in the moonlight, the expensive antiques casting long, dark shadows. Emily found herself standing in front of a library. It was filled with books of various sizes and colours. On an impulse, she opened the door, stepping into a world of ink and parchment. The room smelled of old books and expensive leather, a heady combination that made Emily's heart flutter with anticipation. Engrossed in her discovery, she failed to notice a figure standing by the window. As she looked up, she gasped, her heart leaping to her throat. William stood there, bathed in moonlight, his sharp profile softened by the ethereal glow. He looked different, less the elusive billionaire, and more a man enjoying the solitude of the night. They stood there for a moment, two silhouettes under the soft glow of the moon, each caught in the other's presence. William was the first to break the silence. His voice was a low murmur, its warmth enveloping Emily in a comforting blanket. They talked about books, about Alex, and much to Emily's surprise, about her life before this mansion. As the conversation flowed, Emily couldn't help but feel a strange connection with William. His gaze was intense, making her feel seen, genuinely seen. His laughter, rare and authentic, made her heart flutter, and his shared thoughts hinted at depths unexplored. It was a side of William Davenport that Emily found irresistibly intriguing. When Emily retired to her room, her mind buzzed with their conversation, their shared laughter, and the intimate silence. The encounter had sparked something in Emily, a strange yearning, a desire she had not anticipated. The night had indeed unveiled new emotions, painting her life in the mansion with new shades of intrigue and allure. As the days turned into weeks, Emily found herself grappling with her evolving feelings. She continued her duties as a nanny, her bond with Alex growing stronger with each passing day. However, her encounters with William, albeit infrequent, carried a certain intensity that left Emily with a tingling sensation. There was an undercurrent of attraction, a magnetic pull that Emily found hard to resist. Despite her growing feelings, Emily knew she had to maintain her professionalism. She was, after all, an employee in William's house, a fact that acted as a cold splash of reality on her heated thoughts. However, the memory of that moonlit night in the library lingered, a tantalizing reminder of the unspoken desires that simmered beneath the surface of her heart. William Davenport, the enigmatic billionaire, was not just her employer anymore. He was a man she found herself inexplicably drawn towards, his every glance stirring unfamiliar feelings within her. Emily Cartwright, a simple country girl, was now dancing on the edges of a complicated puzzle, her heart trapped in the billionaire's magnetic pull. Emily was falling into a world of desires and emotions she hadn't anticipated, her heart beating in tune with a rhythm she hadn't known before. The mansion of silk and gold was unveiling new layers, introducing Emily to feelings she had never experienced. Chapter 4: Seduction in a Sea of Diamonds. A month had passed since Emily had started her new life in the heart of London. She had witnessed firsthand the eccentricities and charm of the billionaire lifestyle, all the while maintaining her duties as a nanny to the delightful Alex. But one thing she hadn't prepared for was the growing attraction between her and the enigmatic William Davenport. One night, an extravagant gala was to take place at the mansion. The guest list was a who's who of London's elite, and Emily found herself helping Mrs. Havisham in preparations. To her surprise, Mrs. Havisham informed her that she was also expected to attend the event. Emily was taken aback. She was a nanny, not a socialite. On the night of the gala, Emily slipped into a modest yet elegant gown. Its rich burgundy hue contrasted beautifully with her ivory complexion. As she walked into the grand hall, her heart pounded with both nervousness and anticipation. The room was abuzz with the chatter of London's high society. The chandeliers overhead sparkled like a sea of diamonds, bathing the room in an ethereal glow. As the evening progressed, Emily found herself observing William from a distance. He was a true socialite, charming his guests with his charisma and sophisticated elegance. Watching him from afar, Emily couldn't help but feel an unfamiliar twinge of jealousy each time he shared a light moment or a dance with a lady. Later that evening, Emily found herself in William's presence, the man himself extending an invitation for a dance. The sudden attention was unsettling but also thrilling. As he led her to the dance floor, Emily's heart fluttered. Dancing with William Davenport amidst a sea of London's elite was a whirlwind moment. He held her close, his touch igniting a fire within her. The feel of his strong hand on her back sent shivers down her spine. Their eyes met, and Emily saw a spark in his that mirrored her own feelings. The world seemed to blur as they moved in rhythm with the music. The dance was short, but filled with moments that Emily would cherish forever. His whispered compliments, the feel of his hands, and the intoxicating proximity stirred unfamiliar desires within her. It was in that moment that Emily realized, with unnerving clarity, that her feelings for William had crossed the boundary of mere attraction. The night passed in a blur, but the dance remained etched in Emily's memory. She had not only danced with her employer, but also with the man who had come to inhabit her thoughts and stir feelings she had never anticipated. Emily Cartwright, the country girl turned nanny, was now a participant in a seductive dance of attraction and desire. In the heart of the Sea of Diamonds, Emily was not just witnessing the life of a billionaire, but experiencing a whirlwind of emotions that she had never thought possible. In the grandeur of the mansion and amidst the opulence, Emily was discovering a new side of herself, one that was not just attracted to the enigmatic billionaire, but was slowly falling for him. As she lay in her bed, her mind whirred with the evening's events, the dance, and the undeniable chemistry. Emily was embarking on a thrilling, unfamiliar journey, and she didn't know where it was leading her. Chapter 5. Unveiling Passion in Hidden Corners. Emily's life was transforming at a pace she hadn't anticipated. From a humble country girl to a nanny in a billionaire's mansion, and now caught in the throes of an unforeseen passion, Emily felt herself teetering on the edge of a precipice. William Davenport, the enigmatic billionaire, was no longer just her employer. He had become a constant in her thoughts, his charm and charisma igniting a flame in her heart that she found impossible to douse. Days passed in a blur of childcare duties and stolen moments with William. The dance at the gala had marked a turning point in their relationship, bringing them closer in a way Emily hadn't expected. There was an unspoken connection, an underlying heat that sparked between them whenever their eyes met or their hands brushed. One day, Emily found herself in the mansion's extensive garden, walking hand in hand with Alex. She loved these moments with the young boy, his innocent laughter a sweet balm to the whirlpool of emotions within her. As they passed the secluded gazebo, Emily noticed a lone figure. It was William, engrossed in a book. She felt Alex tug her hand, excitedly pointing towards his father. As they approached, Emily felt a familiar flutter in her heart. There was something endearing about this scene. William, with his guard down, enjoying a moment of solitude. Seeing his son, William's face broke into a wide smile, a warm, genuine gesture that sent Emily's heart fluttering. After a brief exchange and a shared laugh, Alex ran off towards the fountain, leaving Emily alone with William. The moment was fraught with a thick tension, their close proximity sending jolts of excitement down Emily's spine. Before Emily could process her thoughts, William turned towards her, his grey eyes intense and probing. He thanked her for taking such good care of Alex and for her patience with his unpredictable schedule. His sincere gratitude left Emily speechless. She had not expected this side of the billionaire, a side that was not just captivating but also deeply sensitive. As Emily stumbled on a response, William gently took her hand. The touch was electrifying, sending shockwaves through her body. His eyes were still on her, their depths holding an unspoken invitation. Caught in the heat of the moment, Emily felt herself leaning into William, their faces inches apart. The world seemed to stand still as they shared a passionate kiss, one that expressed more than any words could. As Emily pulled away, her heart pounded against her chest. She had crossed a line she knew she shouldn't have, yet the rush of emotions was too powerful, the pull too strong to resist. William Davenport, the elusive billionaire, was not just a part of her professional life anymore. He was now a part of her personal world, a part that held an irresistible allure. That night, Emily lay in her bed, her mind replaying the stolen moment in the garden. The memory of his touch, the warmth of his lips, and the intensity of his gaze sent her into a whirlwind of emotions. Emily Cartwright, the country girl turned nanny, was now caught in the grip of an unexpected passion. The mansion had unveiled yet another layer, one that was filled with hidden corners and passionate secrets. Emily was treading on unfamiliar territory, and she wasn't sure if she wanted to turn back. Chapter 6. Torn between duty and desire. Life in the Davenport mansion was taking a turn Emily had never foreseen. Between her duties as a nanny to the adorable Alex and the burgeoning passionate feelings for William, she was in a whirlwind of emotions. Each stolen moment with William was a thrilling adventure, each touch and glance an exciting revelation. However, her growing feelings were also a cause for worry. Emily was not just a woman captivated by a billionaire's charm, she was an employee entrusted with the care of his only son. This duality was causing her heart to wrench in directions she had never imagined. One evening, Emily found herself in the library, the same one where she had had her first real conversation with William. She was lost in thoughts, the lines between professional boundaries and personal desires blurring in her mind. As she looked around, Her gaze fell on a photo of William and Alex. It was a reminder of her primary role in the mansion, and also of the man who had unintentionally charmed his way into her heart. Caught up in her whirlwind of thoughts, Emily didn't notice William's arrival. His presence brought a rush of feelings, the memories of their stolen moments causing a flush to spread across her cheeks. He joined her, his proximity sending a wave of warmth through her. The ensuing conversation was a blend of professional and personal. They discussed Alex's progress, William expressing his gratitude for Emily's dedication. Then, almost as if it was inevitable, the conversation shifted to their relationship. The tension in the room was palpable, their unspoken feelings causing a shift in the atmosphere. With a sudden boldness, Emily confessed her feelings to William. She told him about her conflict, about her struggle to keep her professional and personal feelings separate. William listened in silence, his expression unreadable. His response when it came was not what Emily expected. He confessed his feelings too. William Davenport, the billionaire, admitted his attraction for Emily the nanny. However, he also understood her predicament. He promised to maintain a professional relationship, acknowledging the importance of keeping their personal feelings separate for the sake of Alex. The confession was both a relief and a heartbreak for Emily. She was relieved that she wouldn't lose her job over her feelings, but her heart ached at the thought of suppressing her burgeoning feelings for William. Yet she knew it was the right thing to do. That night, Emily lay in bed, her mind filled with the day's revelations. Her heart was in turmoil, torn between her duty and her desire. Her feelings for William were stronger than ever, but so was her commitment to her role as a nanny. Emily Cartwright, once a simple country girl, was now entangled in a complex web of emotions and responsibilities. The mansion had exposed her to a new world, a world where her heart had discovered an unexpected passion. As she closed her eyes, she knew her journey was far from over. The mansion still held secrets that Emily was yet to uncover. But for now, she knew she had to focus on her duty, cherishing the moments of desire as nothing more than beautiful memories.
We hope you enjoyed this short story. To hear more stories like this one, why not subscribe to the Romance Diaries and hit the bell icon so that you can get notified each time we put out a new story or confession. That way you won't need to miss a thing. Or if you'd like to experience your own true life romance, why not visit one of our sponsors by clicking a link in the description.